and welcome to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm here today with a pick a card reading for you. Welcome back to my beautiful returning subscribers and to all of my new subscribers this month. Thank you to everyone who has stumbled across the channel for the very first time. We would love to have you join our beautiful soul family here if you feel called to by subscribing to the channel if you enjoy this content. I do pick a card readings on this channel and I do try to release a couple of times a week. So be sure to leave your topic suggestions below in the comments section. Be sure to hit your notification bell. And if you do decide to drop me a comment below, I do offer a chance for my subscribers to win a free reading as a thank you for your presence here. So just drop your comment below any of my readings this month for your chance to win. And be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can notify you if you're chosen the winner. I will notify you via the comments section, but I give you clear instructions on how to reach out to me so we can get the ball rolling. And I want to thank this month's winner for reaching out to me. And I encourage other people who have also dropped comments in the past to please check your notifications in case I have reached out to you in the past, because I am still waiting to hear from some recent winners of the past. But I do have a pick a card reading topic for you today to cover. Today is all about the person on your mind and what are their secret thoughts and fantasies. What do they wish would happen between the two of you? What do they hope to happen? What do they wish and secretly desire to happen in this connection? We have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 with the peony and the illumination card. Pile number 2 with the, I think it's supposed to be, I don't know what it's supposed to be, maybe a carnation, and the sacred sexuality card. Pile number 3 with the beloved card and the poppy. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be messages waiting. And I'm going to jump into pile number 1. Again, today's topic is all about their secret thoughts and fantasies. What do they want to happen in your connection? Pile 1. Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn to the peony and to the illumination card. And you can see this beautiful card. This person has their eyes closed. It's like they're contemplating something. The illumination card does speak about bringing things to light, and the specific energy surrounding this card does talk about bringing subconscious to light. So this person's very creative. They come up with a lot of fantasies surrounding you, but there's a difference between fantasy and action. And that's where they perhaps require a little bit of mastery. They require to take action in a little bit more of a defined way, but they really have this desire. They want to bring unconscious to light. They want to bring their fantasies to light with you, and they want to shine a light on them. So they want the expansion. The peony for me is all about blooming and expansion as well. So let's take a look here. Pile number 1. What are their secret thoughts and feelings, their fantasies? What do they wish would happen in this connection? Ooh, the 7 of Wands. And here you can see that this spark, this expression is breaking through all of the obstacles. It's illumination. It's lighting up the scene. And that's all that we need to get started is one inspiration. You are here because you were a twinkle in your father's eye. Everything that was invented is because somebody had an idea and they put it into action. What are their secret feelings and fantasies? What do they want to happen here? We have the 2 of Swords coming in the reversal. And yet they're letting a lot of indecision, they're letting lack of confidence really get in the way of these fantasies and desires. We have the Judgment reverse because they actually have a huge fear of change. They're afraid of making a mistake. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid they're going to make the wrong decision, or they're afraid that you don't feel the same way as well. And as long as this fantasy about you stays in their crown, it stays safe. The potential is untouched. It never really gets incubated. It doesn't get to go anywhere, but it doesn't get destroyed either. So there's a part of them that is keeping you waiting for this because they're trying to preserve it as long as possible, in the chance that you'll reject them, in the chance that this isn't possible. And they don't want to compromise. It's like this fantasy surrounding you. There's no compromise. They don't have to. They don't have to be vulnerable in these fantasies because there's an openness. Everything's cast in light in their mindset in these fantasies of you. And this is what they wish that could happen, and yet they are the ones who have to face change and their fear of change in order to push this into illumination. Here's the Nine of Swords, and we have the Ace of Cups, and look at the earthworms and all of those eyes coming out. I did see the Ten of Swords, which features the kind of the eyes being gouged. The earthworm is someone who doesn't feel noticed by you. They don't feel appreciated in the very least in their environment. They don't feel noticed by you. And they do feel like they have to toil with these feelings, these emotions under the surface of everything. This is somebody who overthinks about you. They have thought about you every day, multiple times a day potentially. This is a habit that they've formed in thinking and fantasizing about this connection. But the problem with the Nine of Swords is that it's taken time, it's taken focus, it's taken dedication to get here. But it doesn't allow us to end the cycle because we just keep starting it over again. We never get to the tens. We never get to go through the tens and into the aces again. And so there's a feeling about just circulating with these emotions, circulating with these feelings, these fantasies of you, because it keeps them safe. And if they take action, which is a part of their intention, if they take action, perhaps they'll gain the full spectrum, but maybe the full spectrum won't match their fantasy. And they don't want, they don't want to bring that truth to light. They want to illuminate their feelings, and they want that illumination to take the two of you into a new emotional starts. But there's that Ten of Swords. There's the missing eyes. And it's their stubbornness. There's a sense of stubborn energy that keeps them yoked in this position. All of the scales behind the Ace of Cups here is like the dragon energy of somebody who's hoarding onto this fantasy of you, hoarding onto the potential, but maintaining, because of that hoard, maintaining their position in the in-between. So they never actually get to achieve what is possible in the future of this connection. There's a very strong Leo, Aries, Sagittarius presence here for the Divine Feminine, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini for Divine Masculine energy. We have the Queen of Cups, supporting the Seven of Wands. We have the King of Cups. And this is like the perfect partnership. The King and Queen of Cups are like the mom and dad of the deck. You know, they're the ones who are mutually vulnerable with each other. They hold space for each other's emotions. And if this person in this moment is taking a passive approach and turning their wave or their attention away from that truth, this is what they want to express. They want this to be very temporary. You can see the eclipse over the sun. They don't want this to last. They want to make clearance for growth, but they are sort of, you can see the Divine Feminine is the one supporting that clearance for growth, because it's so much easier to expect someone else to fear or face their fear of change, to face their own weaknesses, than it is for them to face it. They're kind of hoping that you'll be the one that creates clarity here, that you'll be the one that illuminates your feelings so they don't have to worry about the potential having to be protected. But you may also be in this stance of the Mother of Wands, who's also guarded, holding on to this wand, holding on to all of the potential, because you yourself are trying to protect. We have the Six of Cups. This is not just a connection about firepower one. This Six of Cups is speaking about someone who holds you in really high regard. This person's fantasies, their desires for you, they're very innocent in nature almost. They're very, do they include fire? Absolutely, but it's more emotional than anything else. They want to be more generous with you. This is the fantasy that they have. The secret feelings that they have are deep love. If I was being honest, or at least that's their impression of their emotion. They would define it perhaps as deep love. And they're holding, like they're keeping it safe somewhere. You can see the little guard on the corner. If you look really closely, you can see a guard standing over this beautiful little group of children who are being mutually generous with each other. You can see the Divine Masculine offering a cup to the Divine Feminine, because they feel like this is soulmate connection. And that only ups the ante of the amount of potential that it holds, but it also ups the ante with the amount of fear associated with the rejection, or associated with a revelation that doesn't match their truth when it comes to you. Here's the Five of Pentacles in the reversal, supporting the Mother of Wands. And there's a highlight here on operating from old crutches, Nothing actually anchoring us except for ourselves. And they again are looking to the divine feminine to apply hope to the situation. Because in the upright, the Five of Pentacles doesn't give us a lot to work with. In the reverse, we're starting to unanchor ourselves from a certain perspective. And you can even see here that someone on crutches is following the divine feminine to lead the way. So these fantasies also include you taking action so that they don't have to, so that you take action so that they can maintain safety. Despite the fact that even in these fantasies, they're able to swing that energy around and make it make sense. You know how dreams will sometimes come in and in the dream, it makes complete sense. A horse can be driving a car. That doesn't really send red flags out for us. You know, it makes complete sense in the dream. Well, in these fantasies, it makes complete sense for them to see you taking charge in the connection and the attraction, while they still maintain this opinion of themselves that they're a leader, that they are taking a leadership role. All things are possible in the dream realm. We have the Four of Pentacles. Just saw the King of Swords again. Very strong emphasis on air elements here. We have the Five of Swords with the Four of Wands. And that's what's getting in the way of all of this abundance. All of these thoughts, all of these feelings, these fantasies are being represented by all of these swords. And it's getting in the way of the truth of the depth of emotion. It's blocking out the potential because they're focused on the obstacles instead of being focused on the solutions. And I will say again, these fantasies are circulating around you taking action so that they can still maintain a passive approach and still feel secure and still feel generous and have generosity applied to them. But these fantasies keep circulating in this way because it's an act of self-preservation. And it feels more logical to keep it in the fantasy realm than it does to be vulnerable, to step outside of my weaknesses, to push through and give this connection the opportunity that it truly deserves and that it represents by this Six of Cups energy. What are their thoughts, feelings, and fantasies here? We have soulmate and joy. It's in the reversal. It's speaking about bringing clarity. Joy is an aspect of clarity and abundance and like light, like the sun that comes in. We also have recovery on the back of the deck. The key to recovery, you can see the divine feminine. In these fantasies and thoughts of you, you are the key to recovery. You are the key to that doorway. They do believe in soulmate energy here. They believe that the two of you had some type of destiny associated with your connection. And truthfully, I feel like you were supposed to cross paths with this person. What are some of their fantasies, please? Is it safe for you to love? Open your heart and give and receive the highest energy of all. The fantasies, you know, when we see the word fantasies, we expect to go straight to fire, straight to the sexual realm, but this person has an emotional connection to you that starts first. It almost feels innocent in nature. You may not have moved into a sexual relationship yet because there's a lack of safety, a fear of change that is the weakness for this person, and they believe that you could be the one for them. This could be someone that came in from your past. For someone watching as well, Pile 1, this doesn't have to resonate with you, but there's past life energy here, and how it says you've already met this romantic partner that you seek, that the two of you are meant to be in some type of way. But in these fantasies, in these dreams, what they really want to happen is connection and to honestly discuss your feelings with each other so that you can grow from where you are. You can grow from where you are. Whether it's just friendship, whether it's somebody from your past, so that we can progress into something more. Because ultimately, that's their desire, is to move into victory with you. That's what this all encompasses. Is that they wish that they could move into victory, into a new emotional start with you. But this fear of change makes them feel helpless, but actually blocks out the truth. Because we saw, where is it? Right there. There's the eyeballs. It's the overthinking that's taking away the clarity. That's making them feel overlooked and making them feel like they're not appreciated. It's the ego that's keeping them in that Nine of Swords mentality. When one conversation might be able to clear it up, but they have to allow themselves to have that conversation. Sort of push themselves out of their comfort zone to have that conversation. Let's get some message cards here to see what sort of thoughts and feelings they've been having. What do they wish that would happen in their fantasies with pile number 1, please? I have kept so much of myself hidden. It is all about illumination for you, pile 1. All about bringing the subconscious to life. All about bringing the potential of this connection to light. Things that have been remaining hidden. But Spirit says you already know how this person feels. Even though they think that they've kept themselves hidden, you're too intuitive. You're both very intuitive people, but you're very intuitive, so you can feel it. It says, don't you worry, I'm coming. But the truth is that I would be worried about this person's ability to bring this unconscious to light, these fantasies into the 3D, because they lack the full spectrum. They need to gain it by going inward and being critically honest with themselves about the role that they need to play. I think about you every single day. We mentioned that earlier. These thoughts are happening all the time. But you deserve someone better than me. And it is a lack of self-love, a lack of self-appreciation that makes them feel that way, that distracts them and slows them down, but also slows them down to being able to achieve what they truly could achieve here in this connection. It says, you're the one that cut me out, the Queen of Swords. So they're not sure how you're feeling. And that's why these fantasies surround you taking charge, you clarifying things, you forcing change in some ways. Because they're saying, I ruin everything I touch, so I have to pass the torch to you. That is not the truth. That is coming from a subjective experience or subjective opinion of themselves from the past. That this connection could help them be delivered from as well. But this has taught me what pain really is. These lies that we tell ourselves, we hurt ourselves when we speak so negatively about ourselves. And that's where all of this energy comes in as well, with conflict, with feelings of helplessness, because they're not helpless, they're just scared. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 1. What was the last thought, please? What do they wish would happen in this connection? 3 of Swords. They want forgiveness. They want movement. It almost feels like this person was always having a crush on you, or they're always kind of holding you in a really high regard, and they just never ever in the past took that leap of faith. And this is what's happening in the 3D as well. And it's like they're apologizing for that. It's like, I'm sorry that I haven't been able to take the leap of faith into this connection, even though it could give me the desires of my heart. Keep picking up the chain. It keeps coming out. Attachment. Capricorn energy. Somebody who's still chained to the past. We do have healing here for the Divine Feminine. Pearls of Wisdom. Mourning. The Mourning Shoe for the Divine Feminine. We also have here listening to the notes of intuition with the Crescent Moon. And there's like a fight between our intuition and the peacock feathers, which is like our ego as well. We have Thirst. Now, they're speaking here about thirst from the Divine Feminine's perspective. In these fantasies, you're super thirsty in a physical sense. You're the one that's pushing for more action. We do have the Tower that falls, and we have the letter G. Now, when the Tower falls, it creates permanent change. Again, it's about illumination, because it's like an epiphany or a light bulb that goes off over our head that we cannot unsee. And then there's permanent change. We cannot go back. And so these fantasies allow us to break the old habits of the past and move into permanent change. Pile number 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and I do update that shop daily. But I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 2. You are drawn to the Cream Flower and to the Sacred Sexuality card, and this is your reading. What are the secret thoughts and fantasies feelings of the person on your mind? What do they wish would happen in your connection? Now, the sacred sexuality can seem like a very forthcoming card. It's very obvious that this person would fantasize about a physical relationship with you, wanting to bridge a gap perhaps between not having that with you and then having this connection with you in that way. But this card specifically from the Magdalene Oracle speaks about the depth of that experience and how it's not just fire. This energy, the fantasies surrounding you, may have a lot of fire included in them, but it's the strongest motivating force that leads to change. And it's misunderstood and it is misused as well by the collective quite a bit. But if we can combine it with love, it becomes the most powerful force on the planet. And so there's something here about allowing this to happen so that we can tap into more emotional depths of love and connection. But I feel like there's going to be a very fiery aspect to some of their thoughts and fantasies, their desires. Where do they want this connection to go? We're going to use the Anatomy Tarot for you. What are their current secret thoughts and fantasies surrounding Pile 2, please? What do they wish would happen in this connection? We have the Six of Rods, the Six of Wands. Now, sometimes the Six of Wands can even speak of marriages, can speak of, deep collaborations that lead us to victory. But it is fire. It's sort of representing the fire. You can see the Three Wands and the Three of Wands coming in together. It's like the expansion of the Three of Wands that creates the lattice of support for more, for a foundation in the connection. What do they wish would happen with their fantasies, please? What are they fantasizing when it comes? We have the Nine of Wands. Again, you can see it's forming a lattice. Part of these fantasies are about holding back until we're at the point of frustration and I can't hold back any longer. And I feel like it sort of mirrors an emotional depth of frustration. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have a lot going on here. We have the Seven of Wands upright. We have the Ten of Wands reversed, and we also have the Five of Swords reversed. And we also have the Ten of Swords. Back of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now, on the Eight of Cups here, it says let go, it says aura cleanse, the void, wake up potion. The Eight of Cups does speak about walking away. They are associating that with divine feminine. So part of their fantasies, part of their desires and what they wish could happen is the two of you being together, but it might have to come at the cost of something. They may feel like the divine feminine has to walk away from something that is unfulfilling. And in these fantasies, you may or may not feel unfulfilled in the 3D, but in these fantasies, you're always unfulfilled wherever you are, as long as you're not with this person. This is part of their desire. This is what they want. Again, these readings are not necessarily representing your truth. These readings are representing what they are feeling, what they are fantasizing about, what they wish would happen. And even if you are in a dynamic and you're completely happy there, in these fantasies and dreams, they hope you're not happy. And they hope that the desire that you have towards them drives you away from them. Drives you away from whatever is unsatisfying towards them. Because you can see here two hearts that are equally balanced, two hearts that are in the same position emotionally together and holding equal space for each other. Despite the obstacles, despite how impossible it may seem, because there's a feeling of like impossibility or challenge in the very least to actually accomplish the fantasy. But in this fantasy and these desires, what they wish would happen is the fact that you're both equally yoked, you're both equally inspired, and it's the passion that you both feel towards each other that sets the framework for the victory that you both eventually achieve together after all of the obstacles. Because they also incorporate these obstacles into the desires, into the fantasies of you. It's like they're actually trying to use the fantasies to incorporate a roadmap of like, this is what I would do if you took this chance and if you walked away. This is what I would do. There's a freedom in these fantasies. There's a freedom of, despite the fact that we still have the obstacles in place, we still plow through. We still push through, drop all of our wands, give in to the desires that we have associated with fire. They are bringing in the wands quite a bit here. 6 of wands, 9 of wands, 10 of wands, 7 of wands. And so they are really highlighting the fact that there's so much passion between the two of you, and that that's what ignites us and consumes us. And then ultimately it shows sort of like a phoenix rising. I will also say that part of this fantasy here with the 5 of Swords reverse is the potential of getting caught. Especially if somebody is in another connection, for instance. This fantasy also includes the possibility of like, well, what would happen if we got caught? And part of that fantasy, because part of the question is, what do they wish would happen? Part of them kind of wishes that they would get caught for these feelings, or the two of you would get caught together, because then it forces a perspective shift. It forces us to change directions. And perhaps forces somebody to let go and finally walk away from whatever is impeding the progress in this connection. Because Spirit says you have all their paddles. That's what you have all their paddles. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the King of Wands, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Oh, 2 of them. 2 of Pentacles, again with a Chariot. I often call the Chariot or the 2 of Pentacles my mini Chariot, and here we have it twice. And there's a sense of like, this is what I want to happen eventually. I know it may not be able to happen now, but I want this to happen eventually. In these fantasies, there's like a sexual act that happens between the two of you multiple times. And part of the fantasy then includes, well, what happens if we get caught? It's like we keep pushing the envelope. We keep pushing our luck. And yet there's emotion that gets unveiled with every single act. It's like there's a depth of feeling that starts to develop within the dynamics of that fire, even in their fantasies. And you'll notice that now the Knight of Cups is supporting the 6 of Wands. And this Knight of Cups is a vulnerability that sets in. And you started with sacred sexuality. And when we combine the sacred sexuality with the love realm, such a powerful force. I just saw the Knight of Pentacles. And I just heard that in these fantasies, integrity takes a back seat. There's no room for integrity in some of these fantasies from this person. We have the 4 of Swords supporting all of this. There's a defensive energy. There's a feeling about a reality that stings, and within the dynamics of this fantasy and their feelings for you, they're acknowledging the reality that keeps the two of you apart. And they're defensive about it. And for some reason, they just showed me tinted windows, like in a car. So these fantasies could include like being in the back seat of a car. We have the 7 of Swords, and we have the Fool with the King of Pentacles. So there's a situation here where maybe we've invested in other realms. Maybe we shouldn't want to be together in the way that we do. There's a certain amount of dishonesty coming in with the 7 of Swords, supporting the Star. Or I'm sorry, supporting the 10 of Swords, but they're showing me the Star with the 17 of Aquarius. And they're saying here that all of this energy redirects our focus and moves us into a new realm. Because of the dishonesty, because we have to bring something to the end or bring something to the close. The 10 of Swords is about releasing. It's about ending a chapter so we can go into a brand new chapter, and there's healing associated with it. So they're acknowledging that some of these aspects, some of these fantasies would perhaps require healing for themselves, you, or other people invested in the situation. But it's like, that's a risk I'm willing to take. because this thoughts of you, the fantasies, the feelings are a constant companion. Some of the fear is also there too, but honestly, some of the fear, they kind of get off on it. There's a sense of like enjoying the energy of getting caught. What do they wish would happen here? Their secret fantasies towards pile number 2, please. Recovery. This came up in pile 1, I believe. There's something about being stuck behind that wall and having the key to recovery, the key to freedom. The truth is that we all hold the key to our own happiness inside of us. But it's a more difficult request when we're asked to take those steps ourselves in the 3D. It's easier to fantasize and to pass that torch in another realm. We have the miracle, and we have creation as well, the shamanic healer on the back of the deck. Now the miracle speaks about the impossibility that we mentioned earlier, about how challenging this could be or how difficult this path could be to walk. But if we do it together, it's less vulnerable. They are acknowledging that it would be a vulnerable aspect to enter into. And even here at the Tree of Life, they're emphasizing a tree getting chopped down in order for this miracle to happen. And so it's like they're trying to manifest. And it's through this manifestation that the healing can truly happen, that the softening of emotion can truly happen, because there's a lot of fire up top, but it's after all of this fire where the emotion starts to creep in. Ooh, we've got a bunch coming out. We have attraction, attracting more romantic love by enjoying the moment fully. But we have wedding. So marriages could be invested here. Take that as it resonates to your situation. And keeping an open mind despite perhaps marriages. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type or your expectations despite commitment cycles. We have a let go of control issues and allow the situation to just unfold naturally. And that's what it feels like, just giving in to the passion. Letting that passion set the framework, set the lattice of support for even more in the future. Let's get some message cards to see what sort of thoughts they've been having, but what they wish would happen in this connection. What do they wish would happen for pile number 2, please? You are so beautiful. What do you need me for? Highlighting your attraction, highlighting the physical form, not wanting to get distracted. Some of these fantasies are about not wanting to get distracted, or not allowing themselves to get distracted when they're exploring you. I think we should see other people. So other people being a factor, that could just be a part of the 3D reality that they've woven into the fantasy, because it's just part of the reality that stings here. I sometimes wonder if you care, but then that gets solved in these thoughts and feelings and these fantasies, because that's what they wish would happen, is that the addiction, the desire, the temptation would be too much, and that solves that problem. But they're also highlighting attachment, death cycle that may need to happen in this connection. I want a fresh start with you, emphasis on fresh. The spark that leads to everything, the sacred sexuality that leads to a depth of emotion. That is one of the most powerful forces in this planet or on this realm. You hurt me, but that's okay, I guess. And I'm getting a message about a fine line between pleasure and pain. So take that as it resonates too. I can't even look at you right now. You make me want to do bad things. So very, very fiery fantasies, very fiery aspects of this person's feelings towards you, wishing that this would happen in your connection. But ultimately, the desire, the flame, is a testament to a deeper emotional depth that they wish that they could fill with this connection. Let's get a charm roll, please, for pile number 2. The last thought they had about pile number 2 here. In the bowl, 9 of Cups, fantasizing wishes, dreams wanting to be granted, not putting in a lot of effort perhaps to create the dream, but they're too vulnerable to do that. They're at a crossroads and they can't commit in this moment. So the last thought about you was more emotional than it was fiery. We have forever. It says you, A and you. We have crystal clear intentions, kind, free, brave, happy, strong, all of these beautiful qualities you possess. We do have here peace in the reverse, so a lack of closure. Aquarius energy, so somebody who's wishing upon you, hoping for you, and the wing, so looking at things from a higher perspective. Pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. If it does, drop your comment below for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. And I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 3. You are drawn to the pink flower and the beloved card, and this is your reading. What are the secret thoughts and fantasies of the person on your mind? What do they wish would happen in your connection? This card is very sweet, actually, from the Magdalene Oracle, because the beloved card speaks about somebody who wants to be in a relationship with you. They want a relationship to deepen. They want to have a deeper connection with you. There's something very, it's like they hold you in a sacred place. All of the beautiful purple is all about sovereignty. The beloved energy is someone who deeply, deeply cares about you, and that's why they want this to progress, or they want it to move into a deep emotional connection. So let's take a look here. I'm going to use the Herb Crafter's Tarot for you to start this reading. For pile number 3, please. What are their secret fantasies and thoughts? What do they wish would happen in this connection? We have the Strength coming out first. They're showing the honeycomb, they're showing garlic that has been roasted, and then garlic that is being tied up to be dried. And so they're highlighting honey, they're highlighting a sacrifice, they're highlighting patience as well, and having to tap into strength in order to achieve all of these goals. They're also highlighting the burn of fresh garlic and the sweet results that these fantasies surround, the sweet results that are awaiting them because they've been patient, because they've had to wait. It's almost highlighting that the wait is worth it. 6 of Wands. King of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles. And the Page of Fire. And we have the 5 of Fire. Back of the deck we have the 5 of Pentacles with the 2 of Swords. So they are highlighting that this person that has all of these intense feelings for you and is fantasizing about you, that they have a lot of obstacles, or there are a lot of obstacles in this connection. One of the biggest things that they concern themselves with are the opinions of other people and how other people will be influenced or will be feeling about their truth coming to light. But in these fantasies, those obstacles are more flexible. In these fantasies and thoughts of you, they're able to adjust. They're able to explore the adjustments. They're able to explore the possibilities while still maintaining safety. And the 5 of Fire here, you can see the beautiful star up on the, it almost looks like a barn. This beautiful star energy. It's the focus on this connection that gives them hope to plow through, the determination to plow through. It's like a willingness to fight for this. Because this person cares about you, but they also care about the opinions of other people. And what they fantasize about is being your person. And I honestly just heard being your man, like just being your person, being in your life, being the person that you can rely on. And I feel like they also fantasize about commitment cycles with you, but I also feel like there are practical things that are getting in the way. Like they fantasize about growing old with you. They can't commit to the action at this moment, but they fantasize about growing old with you. You have the 4 of Cups, supporting the Strength. the Two of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, I just heard open-ended, and they are thinking and fantasizing about maintaining some type of curiosity, maintaining some type of exploration with you while still not having all of the answers, not being able to completely commit. So they, because of the complications of their 3D situation, these fantasies sort of work around that, work around the reality of the 3D, the fantasies surrounding being flexible with what I have invested in. So maintaining one environment, perhaps maintaining two environments at the same time. And as I mentioned in an earlier spread, these are their fantasies, these are their desires, like these are just what they are expressing. This doesn't have to be the gospel of what you want in this connection. This is just what they wish would happen. This is just some of their fantasies that come forward. We have the Magician. And we also have the Queen of Swords with the Chariot. And there's that Two of Swords. In these thoughts and feelings for you as well, pile 3, they do wish that you would charge forward with your truth. That you charge forward with your truth so that they no longer have any concerns or any insecurities about how you're feeling, that everything is clear. The feelings between the two of you are completely clear. There's an energy coming through about connection online or communication online, and this could actually be happening in the 3D. And if this is happening in the 3D, if they do speak to you online or the two of you are connected somehow, they are wearing heavy masks. They may be acting like this is not the case. They may be wearing very heavy masks and hiding behind their position. There could be a workplace connection here for someone, and that's not for everyone, but they're also highlighting here this Ten of Pentacles and the investment that creates. It takes time to accumulate this, whether it be at work or at home. It takes time to accumulate this. And so that could be where the opinions of other people come in, the fear of the unknown, other people's expectations being challenged by my fantasies, by my desires, and what I wish would happen here. Because what they wish would happen with you is for the two of you to be in a commitment in the 3D. For the challenges to be hovering around you and not be kind of moving through this connection. And this, if you're talking to them online now, they're fantasizing about that now, and they're wearing heavy masks. They may not be honest with you. And they may be sort of testing the waters too, to see how flexible you would be to moving into some type of physical union with them. But there are some similarities to pile 2, even though it was a very physically charged card, the sacred sexuality card. It also spoke about how the sexual realm is sort of like a gateway drug towards the emotional realm and deeper emotional connection. And this person is highlighting deep emotional connection to you. But that doesn't mean that their fantasies don't encompass fire, passion, exploring passion, especially if they're in environments where they feel like that's not available to them. They fantasize about the desire for you taking over. It takes on a life of itself. It overpowers them. It's like they're not in control of it anymore. It controls them, and therefore they can sort of skirt away from some of the blame too, right? They can rationalize that in their mind. It's like I was under your power. I was under the power of this attraction. I was under the power of this connection. I was helpless. And that's going to be the driving force in these fantasies to perhaps even try to push through and find the determination to push through. But they feel like it's at a sacrifice of some kind, and they can't commit to that in the present moment. So all they have is the fantasy to hold on to, at least for now, because there's a sense of patience being required in the present moment. And all of these fantasies, they're showing the garlic scape, and garlic scape pops up when we're growing garlic, and you're supposed to pull them out so that all of the energy goes into the bulb and makes it bigger and bigger and bigger. But these fantasies, that's what's happening, is that they don't act upon them. They're pulling out the garlic scapes, and the fantasy is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, building up pressure. And that's where this 8 of Wands comes in. The 6 and the 2 of Wands builds up pressure. And that could have been the pressure that caused them to perhaps reach out to you online, or will cause them to reach out to you online in the future. What do they wish would happen in this connection, please? How do they truly feel about this person? We have here service and trickery. In these fantasies, they may feel like they're being of service, or they're serving you in a very physical way. But this card configuration is speaking to how the ego is telling them that they are making decisions based on integrity, or making decisions based on other people's goods or highest goods, but that's just their fear of change talking. It's like they're using other people in their life as a scapegoat to stop themselves from putting fantasy into action, even though they feel like you are a soulmate. And when they feel this way, when they feel that you are one of their beloveds, that ultimately it's supposed to be an inspiration that pushes us into action. So the inspiration comes in the form of the fantasy, and the fantasy is supposed to spark us into physical action. But the ego is able to make the fear bigger and bigger and bigger, telling them that now's not the time. And that's what the ego is always going to say, is now's not the time, now's not the time. We have passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. I believe this came in Pile 2 as well. Because we can't deny that a lot of these fantasies are very passionate, are very fiery in nature, but it comes from a place of deep connection. It's like they don't know what to do with the deep connection, so they start with fire. Deception. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. I do feel like if you are in contact with this person now, or if you are working with this person, or they're a part of your life in some way, I just saw the gym in my mind as well, that they are not being truthful. They may be very pleasant to you, and they may be, there may be a lot of niceties, a lot of conversations, but they are wearing a mask. They haven't expressed all of this depth of emotion to you yet. And we have express your love. It says, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. In these fantasies, they're able to tell you about their attraction. Nothing holds them back. And that's what makes it the fantasy. But it's also sort of, our fantasies, our dreams, our wishes are kind of a roadmap to achieve the things that we actually want to do. There is a determination and a willingness to fight that's going to be necessary if they want to put these fantasies into action. Let's get a couple of message cards here to see what sort of thoughts and feelings they've had regarding this connection and their fantasies. What do they wish would happen with pile number 3, please? Just being near you is intoxicating. Wanting to lower the inhibitions. They may think and fantasize about alcohol being involved, or other substances here. Being grateful for the spiritual lesson. Also getting an impression about teaching each other things. Says, I knew exactly what I was doing. So in these fantasies, they are crossing boundaries. They are doing things that they know that maybe they shouldn't be doing. But it's like it becomes a life of its own, or it takes on a life of its own. It's like it wasn't me, I was under the control of my passion, of my desire. My life is not as together as it seems. So even if there are commitment cycles, or this person's really invested in their career, even if they act like they're really put together, if they're going to the gym and they're taking care of their body, there's still a lot going on that we can't see. I know I was a distraction from your pain, and allowing themselves to be used as a distraction in whatever way you see fit in these fantasies with you. They want to be more important to you, though. There's a lot of physical energy here, but they want to be, that's what they wish. They want to be a beloved. They want to be more important than that. They don't feel, their life is not as together as it seems. They're not feeling very important in their life, or very supported in a lot of ways. So they're really putting that some of that self-deprecation into these messages. And I just really wish that things could be different. It says, you and I were too young on the back of this deck. So they're speaking here about decisions that we made in the past that have created the obstacles in the present 3D. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. What was the last thought that pile 3 had about what they wish would happen in the future of this connection? 7 of Pentacles. Whoops. Again, we've got them out of the bowl. We have the Judgment, the 7 of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Now, the 7 of Pentacles in the center of the bowl is really speaking about patience, now not being the time, reflecting upon what I have invested in versus what I do want to invest in, and really spending a lot of time with this Judgment, being critical about themselves, knowing what steps they have to take to achieve their fantasies, but the unwillingness in the present moment to take on that leadership role and to be critically honest with themselves and other people. We have Rose Nyland from the Golden Girls here on the dice. It's like rolling the dice. And I always think of Rose Nyland as like the Queen of Cups. She's like a beautiful heart space. She's very innocent in nature. She would represent water energy, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We have the letter A, and we have some, and we have is. And there's a feeling of like it just is what it is. We have a rolling pin, which makes me think of domestic energies. And we have this beautiful shell with a pearl. Every time I see a curled shell, I think of the High Priestess and a hidden wisdom code. So somebody who's keeping this a secret, there's that pearl of wisdom, but they're keeping a deeper secret than just the attraction. They're holding on to this perception about how purposeful this connection is, what you represent as far as like soulmate energy and someone that they really not just have fire for, but a deep emotion towards. We have some. And we also have the snake. I do think about temptation with the snake here. I think I got a comment once where someone's like, that's not a snake, but that's definitely a snake. I specifically bought it in a package of animals. And it represents, for me, it can represent whatever you want it to represent in the bowl, because this bowl is for you. I just offer my perspective on my charms because I've accumulated these beliefs over the years, but you can see whatever you want in the bowl. It represents the Kundalini awakening for me. It also represents temptation. So that is what I have for you, pile number 3. If it resonates with you, please drop your comment below for a chance to win a reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. And I just hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.